Good evening, dear friends. I'm supposed to do an interview here with a band, a very known extreme metal band from Switzerland. And no, it's not Hellhammer, it's not Celtic Frost. It's a band of much younger veterans, nevertheless. So I'm here with Vorph, formerly known as Vorph from Samael. Hi Vorph, how are you doing?
I'm good.
It's your... What concert is it, Romania? Second time, third time?
Fourth maybe. Because we also play here during a tour, like small clubs. We did that like a few years ago, well, 10 years ago.
The feeling of Samael, no new material in these last years, so maybe sometimes things can look like you're becoming a legacy band, you're reissuing singles from old albums. What are you like? You have Batman Throne a couple of years ago, and you had Dictate of Transparency also issued as a single. Is this your decision or is it the record company?
Dictate of Transparency was our decision, Batman Throne not. I mean, it's more like, it was Century Media back in the days, and they sell license to whoever want to do something, so they got contacted. That's how it works. So we cannot, have a say about that. But
it's true that Dictate of Transparency has very actual lyrics referring to the current state of events. But you said that also in another interview that Hegemony was an album more anchored in current reality, so Dictate of Transparency works for that. How do you see things now after things have become even more pressured by this Dictate of Transparency, by having everything online, every personal data?
You don't need to be a prophet to see how things are going. So it's probably more accurate today than it was when we did the song. But it's nothing new. I mean, it started long before that time. So
You evolved lyrically very much from the very beginning when it was like pure black metal lyrics, pure imagery, satanic stuff. Then you came into a more spiritual realm, I'd say, with Lux Mundi, even with Passage. It still stays very ambiguous because one may ask, Hegemony has the all-seeing eye, like a kind of Masonic symbol. And people wonder, are you on the side of that? Are you criticizing it?
Well, we're not taking side. I mean, it's not like we're doing politics. I mean, we just express ourselves. We're living in this time, and we express how we feel about it and what we see. It's not like we're preaching or we're saying, oh, this is the way to go. I mean, I have no clue the way to go. I'm like everybody else. I mean, I'm just like not a victim, but I'm part of this and try to find my way. So I had no answer to the question. So.
You're a questioning person.
I'm a questioning person.
As we all are.
I don't know if we all are. There are some people who have answer for everything.
Of course.
Yeah.
But creatively speaking, are you doing something now? Are you writing new music?
Yeah. I mean, totally. I mean, we are on a new album for quite a bit of time now. But things are getting slow, but they're getting strong. So, we're very happy with what we did with Germany, that you mentioned before. And we want to top that. So, we had to kind of level up our game a little bit.
On the other hand, there is a strong trend in the last years for bands to get back to their roots. And you followed that as well because you did the tours with Ceremony of Opposites. How do you see that old music, which is kind of very different to what you're doing right now, but it still has a common thread? How did it feel to play Ceremony of Opposites after so many years?
Okay, we did that, and then we did Passage. But we did both albums. I mean, they were both kind of landmark album for our time. I mean, there are people who are very connected to those albums, more than what we did later. And I think, for us, we like what we're doing, and we have no shame, or we don't feel like, we're getting back in the past. I mean, those songs, they're with us all the time. So we just revisit them, and I like that. I mean, I don't mind. But of course, as we're working on a new album, when the time will be to tour for that album, I mean, we'll probably play a lot less of that material. So,
You also did a project of old school stuff, the war.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
What's going on with that? Is it still ongoing? Or?
He's not really interested on doing it. So we talk about that. I mean, he said I could go with somebody else. I don't really feel like. Then we came back with the idea. I don't know. I actually don't know what we're gonna do with this project. But it was not a rhythm project that has any idea to develop somewhere. I mean, it was just like playing those songs again. That was it pretty much. Though I actually did a song with that project. It was an acoustic song. Yeah. Well, it was COVID. We had nothing to do. Why not?
How does playing live feel nowadays? Because one thing I noticed, there are many bands evolving in their style, but usually they estrange part of their fans. But what I saw with Samael back then when I saw you in Bucharest more than 10 years ago and now, it's that you have preserved your old audience. There are people with Venom t-shirts still very into you, as there are new people. So what do you think is the common thread within Worship Him and Hegemony?
I don't really know, but I like the fact that this could be, that you could have a larger audience and that they still regard what we're doing as valid or whatever angle they look at us. I think we're a metal band, and when you said that the thread, there it is, we started as more extreme and more primitive sort of metal band, and then we developed into something hopefully a bit different because we wanted to add something, to come with a new idea, or nothing you never knew, but kind of, play around with it, especially when we were a lot into industrial music in the 90s, bands like Ministry, like God Flesh, some others, and, we thought, well, we like that too. I mean, there must be a way to incorporate this one way or another, and we try to get some of this influence and mix it together. And it's not only that. I mean, we will pretty much open mind, about music. I could listen to almost anything and enjoy it. It depends on the moment, basically.
As we were speaking earlier, this is kind of a black metal evening because it starts with Samael and it ends with Emperor. And I was thinking, when I listened to Worship Him sounded very much like solo in my mind.
Okay.
Because,
that was one of the bands I was into as well.
Yeah, definitely.
As many others. Yeah.
What bands do you feel related to now? Do you feel there's any bands you feel close or new things you discovered and that may influence your work?
I don't know, but I think that this is what you notice when you grow up as a band. There is too much thing at some point, and you cannot no longer name one or two. I mean, even back in the days from worshiping, I mean, I could name probably 10 or 12 bands, but not that much. And now, I mean, it goes to the hundreds. So, it doesn't make sense. We're not trying to copy or anything. There's always band that interest me. That while you mentioned Emperor, they have the keyboard player is the guy from Shining.
Yeah.
And Shining was a band that I discovered with the Black Jazz album, and I really liked it. I thought, well, it was not like groundbreaking, but it was new the way you put things together, and I was like, wow. Still at my age, I can be, excited by a new cover band, so to speak. I mean, I knew he had done some very jazz album before that, but that was the first I've been acquainted with, and really like that.
And does playing live still feel as enthusiastic as it did back in the days? Because
it's even more, I would say, even more. Especially what every band we all went through this. Like lockdown for Switzerland, but still we couldn't play shows, and we kind of knew how much we miss it and how much it's important for us. I mean, it feels like life has less spice when we don't have the opportunity to play. I mean, I could live without, but my life will be more tame, probably.
And one last thing, and you can tell me bad things also if you want.
Oh, I would love to say bad things.
How does the audience tonight feel?
Feel great. I don't know why I should say
it felt great. No, but I want to know. From the audience, it felt great.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, we could have played maybe later for the live shows, but it's okay. That's the way it is, and still, even with the daylight was pretty cool.
From the audience side, it was fantastic. It was,
okay, good.
flawless show.
No, thank you.
Really.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Prost.